He wanted to gain authority because in the realm of kings, they fight for territories, they fight for lands. Because the land you occupy is what gives you authority. And so when the guy came, he saw a dominion, but the dominion was a novice. He came into the politics of thrones and he didn't have sufficient insight. So he didn't know the things that matter. He didn't know that the way he guards his territory is by aligning with the government, the laws and the precepts of God. So if he violates it, he doesn't need to have authority over the territory anymore, because the purpose of territory is so that citizens can be formed that obeys the laws of this God. And so when that dominion deceived him and he lost the earth realm, that same dominion met Jesus later. And he said, bow to me. I'll give you the glory of the world. He said, for it has been delivered unto me. It was a game of territory, but Jesus is wise. The last Adam is ancient. The first Adam is a novice, but the last Adam is what? Ancient. It's an ancient creature. Are we following? I'm trying to paint a picture, don't worry. And so dominions rule territory. If you study Nahum chapter 2 verse 6, it says open. It said the gate of the sea shall be open and the palaces shall be subdued. So there are palaces at the belly of the sea. Yes, because it's a territory of a dominion. So dominions possess territories and keep watch over it for the throne. You see how the kingdom works? It's a game of civilization. If it is not civilization, then there's no essence. Because the king that created it was seeking pleasure. And the way he gains pleasure is to be worshipped. And so the thrones are there as the first sample, the prototype of what the kingdom will look like. That's why the thrones don't go anywhere. They co-rule by worshiping him. And then by extension, you have dominions who possess and keep the territory to ensure that the laws of the king streams into the territories. So Adam was created a dominion. And there were other dominions. There's a dominion that ruled the air. There's a dominion that ruled the constellations. If you study Songs of Solomon chapter 1 verse 5, he said, look not upon me because I'm black. He said, the sun has looked upon me. Because when the earth was colonized and taken over, some of these princes collected different components. And one of the things principalities do is that, they have eyes. So when they look upon a dimension, they pour their reality into those dimensions. And so when the rays come upon you, they darken you. You will think the sun gives you light. That was before the earth fell. After the earth fell, the sun no longer gave light. It darkens. And so when God created a new pattern in the tabernacle, they didn't use the sunlight. They used the menorah. And at some point, the Shekinah itself will have to come. Because the sun now, other principalities can look through it. Adam was supposed to guard the sun in order to regulate seasons and times. But another prince has hijacked the constellation. And so when he looked through the sun, he can darken the hearts of men. That's what you call the wisdom of this world. As you walk the street, you will find somebody. In fact, when you find astrologers who are ranking, what they do is that they can speak into the moon. And when the moon rises, the moon will bring a curse over a city. It's a game of power and authority. And so when you move from the dominions, you now come to the principalities. The principalities are the ones they send first. That's why the word principality means those who come first. So when a dominion wants to take over a new territory, he sends a principality. The same way the spirit will say, come. A dominion will send the principality to also say, come. And so as we are speaking now, there are those who are coming to darkness. But the Lord is calling some into light. And the reason he's calling men into light is because there is a civilization that is about to be built. If it is just to come here and receive a gift, it would have been a waste. This Nigeria, a new Nigeria will have to emerge. But you will need those who can build. And so they are calling men again to give them tools. And as I round up, I will show you how civilizations are built. Because when we come and we are commissioned, we will go out in 3 orders. The first will be prophets. Because Moses went to Egypt first. And then the second will be priests. Because the priests are the ones that create the commonwealth. They guard the mercy seat. And then the third are kings. That's how you shape a civilization. But before you become a prophet, a priest, and a king, you must be summoned. Because if you are not summoned into this company to be equipped, and a principality summons you, you will also be empowered. You know, for those of you that watch kingdom movies, there are those they call warlocks.